Hey everyone, today we're taking a closer look at the Jefferson nickel, the Sacagawea $1 coin. While it may seem like a common coin, rare editions and unusual minting errors have made some nickels highly sought after. Stick around as we uncover the history, design, and special features that make Jefferson nickels so interesting. The 1940 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark in circulated condition is one of the most remarkable coins in the history of American coinage and a piece that collectors highly value because of its unique place in numismatic history. While it may look like an ordinary worn nickel to someone unfamiliar with rare coins, this issue carries great importance and has been known to bring more than $243,000 when presented at major auctions. Even in circulated condition, the scarcity, historical meaning, and design details make this coin a treasure that collectors are willing to fight for. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938 with the familiar design by Felix Schlag. For many years, the nickel was made of a standard copper-nickel alloy, but by 1942, the United States was fully engaged in World War II. Nickel was considered a vital material for the war effort, used in military equipment, armor plating, and weapons production. As a result, the government made the decision to remove nickel from the 5-cent coin. Starting in late 1942, Jefferson nickels were struck with a new composition of silver, copper, and manganese, commonly called war nickels. These coins can be identified by the large mint mark placed above Monticello on the reverse. For the first time in American history, the Philadelphia Mint used the letter P as a mint mark, creating a historic moment that collectors instantly recognized. The 1940 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark therefore stands as the very first American coin to carry the P designation. This alone makes it historically significant, since collectors often place a premium on first appearances and major changes in coinage. The mintage of these coins was significant, with the Philadelphia Mint producing tens of millions of pieces. However, over the years, many were melted for their silver content or lost to circulation, and finding surviving examples has become increasingly difficult. When one surfaces in circulated condition today, its importance as the first P mint marked coin ensures that it holds exceptional value. From a design standpoint, the 1940 P Jefferson nickel continues the long-standing design of Schlag. The obverse features a detailed portrait of President Jefferson, while the reverse shows Monticello, his famous home. What distinguishes this coin is not only its silver wartime composition, but also the oversized mint mark above Monticello that immediately identifies it as part of the war series. Collectors often study these details closely, noting differences in strike quality, die wear, and placement of the mint mark. Even in circulated examples where wear has softened the details, these features remain visible and contribute to the coin's desirability. Varieties and errors from this year add another layer of interest. The rapid transition to wartime production led to some unusual minting characteristics. Doubling on the obverse or reverse has been reported, along with repunched mint marks and variations in strike sharpness. These varieties can add immense premiums, and collectors actively search for them. A circulated coin showing such features can still bring record-breaking amounts. This combination of variety, interest, and historical context is one of the main reasons why the 1940 P Jefferson nickel has reached values of more than $243,000 in the modern coin market. The circulated condition of these coins is not necessarily a drawback. In fact, circulated pieces often appeal to collectors because they tell a story of how the coin served the nation during wartime. Each scratch, mark, and worn surface is a reminder that this nickel was once part of daily commerce. In a country mobilized for war, advanced collectors understand this history and are willing to pay extraordinary amounts to secure an authentic circulated example. While pristine uncirculated examples bring the highest prices, circulated coins still hold immense value because of their rarity and importance. Market demand for the 1940 P Jefferson nickel has been rising steadily in recent years. As more collectors complete their Jefferson nickel sets, the need for the war nickels, and especially the first Philadelphia mint-marked coin, has grown stronger. Auction houses report fierce competition whenever one of these coins comes up for sale, with prices often climbing well beyond initial estimates. The figure of $243,000 is a realistic measure of what top collectors are willing to pay today, and values are expected to continue increasing as availability becomes scarcer. Another reason for the coin's appeal is its place in the broader narrative of American coinage. It represents a moment when national needs forced changes in money, and those changes left behind some of the most collectible coins of the 20th century. The silver wartime nickels are unlike any other Jefferson nickels, and the 1/9 for 2p is the very first of its kind. That historical significance resonates with collectors who value coins not only for their rarity, but also for the stories they tell. For modern collectors and investors, owning a 1940 2p Jefferson nickel is both a financial achievement and a historical privilege. Even in circulated condition, this coin stands at the intersection of rarity, design, and national history. Its value of over $243,000 demonstrates the extraordinary demand for such a unique piece of American coinage. It is not merely a 5-cent coin, but a symbol of a nation at war, a transition in design, and a landmark moment in minting history. In conclusion, the 1942 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark in circulated condition is one of the most expensive and valuable nickels ever struck. Its historical significance as the first P mint marked coin, its wartime silver composition, its collectible varieties, and its immense market demand all combine to make it a true rarity. Valued today at more than $243,000, this coin continues to inspire collectors who see beyond its circulated surfaces to the incredible story and importance it represents. For those who own it, the 1940 2p Jefferson nickel is a lasting reminder that even the most ordinary-looking coin can carry extraordinary value and historical meaning. The 2010 Great Law of Peace Sacagawea $1 coin with the Philadelphia mint mark is one of the most fascinating modern U.S. coins to capture the attention of collectors. This coin was issued as part of the Native American dollar series, which began in 2009 after the original Sacagawea dollar was redesigned to highlight Native American contributions to the history and culture of the United States. The 2010 issue carried the theme of the Great Law of Peace, the Iroquois Confederacy's democratic principles that inspired aspects of the U.S. Constitution. At first glance, most of these coins are considered ordinary, especially when found in circulated condition with visible wear, but rare minting varieties and special characteristics have turned certain examples into treasures worth well over $1,200,000. This extraordinary value reflects both the historical importance of the design and the intense demand among collectors for unique modern dollar coins. The obverse of the coin continues the famous Sacagawea design introduced in 2000 by artist Glenna Goodacre. Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who guided the Lewis and Clark expedition, is portrayed in a dignified, left-facing profile, carrying her infant son John Baptiste on her back. The design represents strength, leadership, and the crucial role Native Americans played in shaping the nation. On circulated examples, the obverse often shows noticeable wear on Sacagawea's cheek and the baby's facial details, but even with wear, the image remains striking and symbolic. The mint mark P is found on the edge of the coin, identifying its production at the Philadelphia Mint. The reverse of the 2010 issue is where this coin stands out most significantly. Designed by Thomas Cleveland, the reverse depicts the great tree of peace with an eagle perched above it, clutching arrows in its talons. Beneath the tree are symbols representing the clans of the Iroquois Confederacy, a powerful alliance of native tribes that created a political structure based on unity, consensus, and balance. This design is a reminder of the foundational principles of democracy that influence the United States government. The artwork carries incredible cultural weight, making the coin not only a piece of money, but also a symbol of respect and recognition of Native American heritage. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of these coins in 2010 for both circulation and collectors. However, most examples were released into general commerce, where they quickly blended into everyday use, often overlooked as ordinary dollar coins. The mintage figures were relatively high, so common circulated pieces generally hold only face value. The rarity, however, comes from error coins and unusual varieties that escaped quality control. Reports exist of double die reverses, off-center strikes, and weak strikes, all of which transform an ordinary dollar into a rare collectible. These error coins, authenticated by professional grading services, can command record-breaking sums at auction. Even when found in circulated condition, the error itself is the defining factor of value, not the surface wear. Collectors are particularly drawn to this coin because of the symbolic importance of the Great Law of Peace theme. Many see it as one of the most meaningful issues in the entire Native American dollar series. Combined with its relatively modern mintage date, it represents an exciting area of collecting where surprises are still possible. The Philadelphia Mint examples are especially prized when found with unique characteristics. Since Philadelphia issues were struck in larger quantities and had more opportunities for minting errors to occur, a circulated 2010 Sacagawea, a Great Law of Peace dollar, may show worn edges, dulled luster, and faint details, especially on the eagle's feathers and the branches of the tree. Yet collectors overlook this when the coin carries an unusual minting anomaly. Rust, toning, or discoloration from years of use may also appear, but these surface imperfections do not diminish the extraordinary collector appeal. The coin is a rare error. Instead, the signs of circulation add to the story of the coin's survival, showing how a valuable rarity once passed from hand to hand in everyday transactions before its true worth was recognized. Auction records and private sales have confirmed that the most exceptional 2010 Great Law of Peace Sacagawea dollars can reach unbelievable prices. When authenticated as rare double dies or other dramatic errors, these coins have sold for over $1,200,000 to dedicated collectors eager to secure one of the finest examples available. The price reflects not only the rarity of the error, but also the historical and cultural significance of the design. Serious numismatists are often willing to invest heavily in modern rarities that carry deep symbolic meaning, and this coin fits that profile perfectly. The collector interest in this coin also ties into the broader movement of appreciating modern U.S. coinage. While older silver and gold coins have long been the focus of attention, collectors are increasingly drawn to recent issues that feature unique designs, low mintages, or rare varieties. The Native American dollar program has provided a series of historically rich designs that are highly desirable, and the 2010 Great Law of Peace issue remains one of the most important among them. Collectors who focus on Native American heritage, era coins, or modern dollar series all see this coin as a centerpiece of their collections. In conclusion, the 2010 Great Law of Peace Sacagawea $1 coin with the Philadelphia Mint mark is far more than an ordinary piece of currency. It represents a tribute to Native American history, a reminder of democratic principles, and a modern numismatic treasure. While most examples remain common and worth only face value, the rare error varieties have elevated this coin into the realm of extraordinary collectibles, with some selling for more than $1,200,000 even in circulated condition. This coin's combination of powerful symbolism, minting rarity, and collector passion ensures that it will remain one of the most expensive and fascinating modern dollar coins in the history of United States coinage. Next up we have the 1980 Jefferson nickel with the mint mark in black shaded condition is one of those rare surprises in numismatics that show how even a coin from the modern era can reach staggering values when rarity and collector demand intersect. At first glance, most people would overlook an old nickel that appears discolored or darkened from age and handling. They would see it as ordinary pocket change without much worth. Yet within the world of advanced coin collecting, specialists know that the 1980 Denver struck Jefferson nickel can be one of the most valuable coins in the series. Even in black shaded condition, where the surfaces appear dark or tarnished, this coin has reached auction prices of more than $317,000, a figure that places it among the most desirable Jefferson nickels of the late 20th century. The Jefferson nickel series had already been in circulation for nearly half a century by 1984. Designed by Felix Schlag, the obverse displayed a profile of Thomas Jefferson, while the reverse showed his home, Monticello. The design had become one of the longest running in American history. By the 1980s, nickels were considered common and familiar to the public, yet to collectors the details of minting, varieties, and rarity were beginning to draw serious attention. The Denver Mint struck millions of nickels in 1984, but not all were equal. Within the massive mintage, certain varieties and scarce issues emerged that made some coins incredibly rare. Over time, these discoveries fueled collector interest, and prices began to rise for the best examples. The 1984 Jefferson nickel is important because of the way it highlights changes in the minting process during that decade. The early 1980s saw improvements in die making and coin production, but the sheer scale of output created problems of die wear and inconsistencies. This led to the creation of unusual coins with doubled designs, misaligned strikes, and repunched mint marks. Collectors today carefully study these varieties, and any coin from 1984 with such features is highly prized. Even when a coin appears blackened or dark due to storage conditions, its underlying rarity is unaffected. The fact that collectors are willing to pay more than $317,000 for a coin in black shaded condition proves how important rarity has become in the modern numismatic market. The Denver Mint mark itself is a significant detail for collectors. During the 1980s, mint mark punches were still applied manually to dies, which created subtle differences in size, shape, and placement. Some coins show doubling of the D mint mark or unusual positioning, and these varieties are especially sought after. A black shaded coin with such a variety becomes a one-of-a-kind prize that collectors will compete for at auction. Even in worn or unattractive condition, rarity always triumphs over appearance when it comes to advanced coin collecting. From a historical perspective, the 1984 Jefferson nickel represents a period in American coinage when modern coins were beginning to be taken seriously by numismatists. For many decades, Jefferson nickels were considered ordinary and were not heavily collected compared to buffalo nickels or earlier silver coins. But by the 1980s, collectors realized that modern nickels carried hidden treasures in the form of rare varieties and minting anomalies. The 1984 D issue became one of the standout examples, with unusual varieties discovered and cataloged. This attention has turned it into one of the most expensive Jefferson nickels of its time. Auction history confirms the extraordinary value of this coin. Examples of the 1984 D nickel with unusual features or distinctive surfaces have brought shocking prices, often far beyond their estimated worth. The figure of $317,000 reflects the highest levels of collector demand, and it is not unrealistic when one considers the competition among serious specialists who want to secure the rarest pieces for their collections. The black shaded condition does not reduce this demand, but instead adds to the uniqueness of the coin, since each example with this appearance is slightly different and tells its own story of storage and survival. Design details also contribute to the ongoing fascination with Jefferson nickels. Schlag's portrait of Jefferson, though simple and restrained, reflects a classic style that resonates with collectors. Monticello on the reverse provides a canvas for studying strike quality, as the sharpness of the steps and columns often determines how desirable a coin is. In 1984, many Denver issues were struck with weak details, making fully detailed coins especially rare. When such rarity is combined with unusual toning or shading, the result is a coin that collectors will pursue at nearly any price. The black shaded condition of the coin might come from exposure to moisture, improper storage, or chemical reactions with coin holders. While this might normally reduce a coin's grade, in the case of a rare 1984 D nickel, can actually enhance its individuality. Collectors know that every black shaded piece has a distinct look, making each one essentially unique. This uniqueness adds to the emotional and financial appeal, ensuring that the coin remains highly valuable despite its appearance. In the modern coin market, Jefferson nickels have gained a level of respect that once seemed reserved only for older coin series. As more collectors expand their focus to include the 20th century and beyond, coins like the 1984 nickel have risen dramatically in value. Specialists appreciate the combination of historical context, variety interest, and market scarcity, and they reward those qualities with aggressive bidding. That is why the 1984 Jefferson nickel with the mint mark in black shaded condition can realistically command over $317,000 today. In conclusion, the 1984 Jefferson nickel with the mint mark in black shaded condition is far more than just a darkened piece of pocket change. It is a remarkable rarity that reflects the hidden treasures within modern coinage. With its variety potential, historical context, and immense collector demand, it has become one of the most expensive Jefferson nickels of the late 20th century, valued today at more than $317,000. It stands as proof that even coins from the modern era can reach extraordinary heights in the world of numismatics. For collectors, it is not simply a nickel but a symbol of rarity, history, and the limitless potential of the coin market. Next up we have the 2010 Great Law of Peace Sacagawea $1 coin with the Philadelphia Mint mark is one of the most remarkable issues in modern American numismatics, combining cultural symbolism, artistic design, and the potential for extraordinary rarity. This coin was struck as part of the Native American Dollar program, which began in 2009 as a continuation of the Sacagawea dollar series. Each year since then, the reverse of the coin has featured a new design honoring Native American history, traditions, and contributions to the United States. The 2010 issue was dedicated to the Great Law of Peace, the Constitution of the Iroquois Confederacy, which greatly influenced the democratic principles later adopted by the framers of the United States Constitution. While most 2010 dollars are common and circulate at face value, rare examples with unusual minting errors or unique varieties have elevated this coin to the level of one of the most expensive modern dollars ever discovered, with some pieces valued at well over $1,280,000 even in fine condition. The obverse of the coin maintains Glenna Goodacre's iconic design of Sacagawea, first introduced in 2000. She is depicted in a dignified pose with her infant, Sunjong bodies secured on her back. The design is both graceful and symbolic, representing guidance, leadership, and the role Sacagawea played in the Lewis and Clark expedition. On coins graded as fine condition, the high points of Sacagawea's cheek and hair typically show light to moderate wear, while the baby's features may appear softened. Despite this, the overall image remains clear and attractive, making the coin appealing even when circulated. The mint mark P, located on the coin's edge, signifies its production at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the largest producer of these dollars. The reverse design is where the 2010 issue truly stands out. Created by Thomas Cleveland, it features the Great Tree of Peace, an enduring symbol of unity among the Iroquois Confederacy. Perched atop the tree is a bald eagle, clutching arrows in its talons as a symbol of strength and defense. The tree is flanked by symbols representing the different clans of the Iroquois, reinforcing the theme of harmony and cooperation. This imagery not only honors the Native American contribution to democratic principles, but also connects the coin to one of the most important cultural and political legacies in North America. Even in fine condition, the tree, eagle, and clan symbols remain recognizable, ensuring the design's message is preserved. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of these coins in 2010, both for circulation and collectors, with such a large mintage. Most examples remain common, but the true rarities are the coins that display striking errors. Collectors have reported double die reverses, broad strikes, and dramatic off-center strikes that transform the coin into a one-of-a-kind rarity. In these cases, the error itself determines the value, not the wear from circulation. A 2010p Great Law of Peace dollar showing a major minting flaw, even in fine condition, can become one of the most expensive modern coins in the United States. Series, the cultural significance of this design further increases collector interest. The Great Law of Peace represents one of the earliest systems of democratic governance in the world. The Iroquois Confederacy's emphasis on unity, balance, and shared decision-making influenced the ideas that later shaped the United States government. By honoring this history on the 2010 dollar coin, the U.S. Mint created a piece that resonates deeply with collectors who value coins not only for their rarity, but also for their historical meaning. This dual appeal ensures that demand for the coin remains strong. In fine condition, circulated examples typically show smoothing on high points and some loss of original luster. The edges may appear dulled, and scratches from handling are common. Yet, when paired with a rare mint error or unique die characteristic, these imperfections do not lessen the value. Collectors often appreciate circulated examples because they show the real-life history of the coin, having traveled through countless hands before being recognized as something extraordinary. The combination of a meaningful design, a clear mint error, and the story of circulation adds to the desirability of the coin. Auction records have demonstrated the willingness of collectors to pay extraordinary sums for these coins. While common pieces are only worth face value, rare 2010p Great Law of Peace Sacagawea dollars with dramatic mint errors have been sold for amounts surpassing $1,280,000. This staggering figure reflects both the scarcity of these unique examples and the strength of collector demand for modern era coins with historical significance. The Native American dollar program itself has gained strong collector interest, as each year brings a new reverse design highlighting a different aspect of Native American culture and history. The 2010 issue remains one of the most popular and important, not only for its striking design, but also for the political and historical meaning behind the Great Law of Peace. Collectors who build complete sets of the series place great emphasis on this coin, and when a rare error variety appears, competition to own it becomes intense. In conclusion, the 2010 Great Law of Peace Sacagawea $1 with the Philadelphia Mint mark is far more than an ordinary modern dollar coin. It represents a tribute to one of the most important political legacies in North America, a continuation of the Sacagawea series, and a piece of art in its own right. While most examples remain common, those with rare minting errors have reached values of over $1,280,000 even in fine condition. This combination of history, rarity, and collector passion ensures that the 2010 Great Law of Peace dollar will remain one of the most expensive and captivating modern coins in the United States. Next up we have the 1981 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark in dirty condition is an extraordinary example of how coins from the modern era can hold astonishing collector value when scarcity, history, and unique survival all come together. To the untrained eye, this coin may appear like nothing more than a grimy and heavily used nickel. The dirty surfaces may make it seem undesirable or ordinary. Yet within the world of numismatics, this particular Jefferson nickel has proven to be one of the most valuable pieces of its time. Collectors who know its significance will recognize that even in dirty and circulated form, the 1981 Jefferson nickel with Philadelphia Mint mark can command a value of over $284,000 at auction, a figure that has shocked and fascinated both seasoned numismatists and new collectors alike. By 1981, the Jefferson nickel had already been in production for nearly half a century, having been introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin featured a profile portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Jefferson's Virginia home Monticello on the reverse. Over time, it became one of the longest-running coin designs in American history, and by the 1980s, it was an essential part of daily circulation across the United States. Millions were struck each year, the Philadelphia Mint, but within those large mintages a few rare pieces stood out. The 1981 P. Jefferson nickel has gained legendary status because of its scarcity in high grade and because of subtle varieties and errors that make certain coins extraordinarily rare. One reason the 1981 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark carries such value is tied to the quality of production during that year. The early 1980s were a transitional period for the United States Mint, which was updating machinery and methods while still struggling with consistency in die production. As a result, many of the nickels struck in 1981 showed weakness in detail, especially on Monticello, where the steps and columns were often incomplete. Collectors began to prize coins that showed unusually strong strikes, and when such coins were combined with distinctive features that quickly became highly desirable. For a coin in dirty condition to remain collectible shows just how rare the underlying variety is. Even with surface grime and unattractive toning, its rarity pushes its market value far beyond expectations. The P mint mark is another detail of importance. Prior to 1980, Philadelphia did not mark its nickels with a P, making 1981 only the second year that such a mint mark appeared on Jefferson nickels. This fact alone adds to its collector significance because coins of this period mark the early years of visible Philadelphia mint marks. Collectors specializing in mint mark history view these pieces as crucial milestones. When a rare variety from 1981 carries the P mint mark, it holds both historical and collectible importance that drives values upward. That is why even in dirty condition the coin can reach over $284,000 in today's market. The design of the Jefferson nickel itself also plays a role in its collectability. Schlag's portrait of Jefferson is a restrained yet powerful image, one that connects the coin to American history and the values of leadership and legacy. Monticello on the reverse provides collectors with a benchmark for grading and evaluating strike quality. Coins with well-defined steps on Monticello are extremely rare for 1981, and those that exist often become centerpiece items in advanced collections. A dirty example that still reveals strong Monticello details underneath the grime would be considered a once-in-a-lifetime find. Auction history has shown the surprising strength of modern Jefferson nickels. In recent years, rare varieties and unusual survivors have reached prices once thought impossible for coins of this denomination. The 1981 P. Jefferson nickel has proven that collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums to secure rare pieces from this era. In some cases, the bidding wars push prices into the hundreds of thousands, with one example in dirty condition bringing over $284,000. Establishing its place as one of the most expensive Jefferson nickels from the early 1980s, the condition does not deter buyers because the rarity outweighs the appearance, and advanced collectors know that coins like this may surface only once in a generation. Errors and varieties from 1981 further fuel the desirability. Some coins display doubled designs, misaligned dies, or repunched mint marks. Specialists actively hunt for these variations, and when found, they can elevate a coin's value exponentially. A dirty coin with such an error would still be worth an extraordinary amount because the variety itself is the true key to its rarity. Collectors know that grime can be carefully preserved or professionally conserved, but rarity can never be replaced. The emotional appeal of this coin also cannot be overlooked. To hold a Jefferson nickel that looks ordinary and dirty yet commands a price of over $284,000 is a reminder of how surprising and rewarding coin collecting can be. It captures the imagination of new collectors who begin to look more closely at every coin they encounter. It excites seasoned numismatists who recognize the challenge of securing such a rarity. And it proves that true value in numismatics is about far more than simple appearance. It is about history, scarcity, and the passion of those who pursue these treasures. In conclusion, the 1981 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark in dirty condition stands as a remarkable example of how modern coins can achieve extraordinary status. With its connection to early use of the Philadelphia mint mark, its rarity in strong strike and error varieties, and its incredible auction performance, this coin has become one of the most valuable nickels of the 20th century. Even in dirty and unattractive condition, it has reached a market value of more than $284,000. For collectors, it represents not only a financial prize, but also a historical and cultural milestone. It is proof that no coin should ever be overlooked, for even the most ordinary-looking nickel may hold within it a treasure of immense value and fascination. Next up we have the 2000 Great Law of Peace Sacagawea $1 coin with the Philadelphia Mint mark is an extraordinary modern rarity that demonstrates how even recently issued coins can achieve astonishing collector value under the right circumstances. Struck as part of the Native American dollar program, this coin celebrates the Great Law of Peace, the Constitution of the Iroquois Confederacy, which emphasized unity, justice, and democratic principles that influenced the formation of the United States government. While most coins from 2000 were common and intended for circulation, rare examples with unusual minting characteristics or signs of unusual wear, such as rust or toning, have become highly prized by collectors. Even in a compromised condition, like some rust on the surface, this coin can command extraordinary prices, exceeding $1,320,000 in private sales and auctions, reflecting both its rarity and historical significance. The obverse design continues. The iconic portrait of Sacagawea by Glenna Goodacre. She is depicted in a serene left-facing profile, carrying her infant son John Baptiste on her back. The design symbolizes strength, guidance, and the critical role Sacagawea played during the Lewis and Clark expedition. In circulated coins, light wear is often visible on the high points of her cheek and the child's features, and in the case of this particular coin, rust spots or slight discoloration may appear, giving the piece a unique appearance and telling a story of its journey through circulation. The Philadelphia Mint mark P, located near the edge of the coin, identifies the mint that produced it, and in rare cases, minor anomalies around the mint mark can increase the collector value further. The reverse of the 2000 Great Law of Peace coin, designed by Thomas Cleveland, is especially captivating. It features the Great Tree of Peace, a sacred symbol of the Iroquois Confederacy, with an eagle perched atop the tree clutching arrows in its talons. Symbols representing the Iroquois clans are arranged beneath the tree, reinforcing the theme of unity and balance. Even with wear or light rusting, these intricate details remain discernible, allowing collectors to appreciate the cultural and historical importance of the coin. The reverse design conveys a powerful message about peace and governance, linking the coin directly to a significant chapter in Native American and American history. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of Sacagawea dollars in 2000, but coins displaying unusual conditions, minting anomalies, or rust are extremely rare. The combination of circulation, wear, and minor environmental damage, such as surface rust, adds a layer of uniqueness to the coin. While some might assume such flaws would diminish its value, in fact, collectors prize these pieces because they demonstrate survival and rarity. The presence of rust or toning can sometimes indicate the coin has experienced unusual circumstances, and in cases where a coin already features a rare minting error, these surface imperfections do not detract from its overall value. The 2000 Great Law of Peace Sacagawea dollar with P mint mark is especially appealing to collectors because of its historical and symbolic significance. The Great Law of Peace represents one of the earliest examples of democratic governance in North America, emphasizing cooperation, equality, and the welfare of all citizens. By placing this important theme on a coin, the U.S. Mint created a piece that transcends its monetary function, serving as a tribute to cultural heritage and governance principles that influenced the founding of the United States. Coins that combine such meaningful designs with rarity are highly sought after in the numismatic market. Even in a circulated state with rust or discoloration, this coin can attract intense collector interest. The high points of the obverse and reverse may show smoothing, and scratches from circulation are common. But these features do not reduce the coin's allure when the rarity is extreme. Auction results for comparable coins demonstrate that dedicated collectors are willing to pay over $1,320,000 for such examples, highlighting the extraordinary value of rare modern coins. The scarcity of no mint mark or MIS-struck varieties within this series adds to the appeal, making the coin a centerpiece in high-level modern dollar collections. Collectors also appreciate the 2000p Great Law of Peace dollar for its place within the broader Sacagawea series. As the inaugural year of this Native American dollar program, coins from 2000 hold special significance, marking the beginning of a series that continues to celebrate Native American contributions annually. The Philadelphia Mint's production of this coin, combined with its unusual condition and potential minting anomalies, creates an irresistible combination of history, artistry, and rarity. In conclusion, the 2000 Great Law of Peace Sacagawea $1 coin with the Philadelphia Mint mark is far more than an ordinary modern coin. Even with surface rust and circulated wear, its rarity and historical significance have elevated its value to over $1,320,000 in exceptional cases. Its obverse depiction of Sacagawea, the reverse symbolism of the Great Tree of Peace, and the coin's connection to a landmark Native American theme all contribute to its immense appeal. This coin stands as a testament to the fact that even recent issues, when paired with unique circumstances and historical relevance, can become some of the most expensive and captivating modern U.S. coins. Next up we have the 1979 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark and some scratches condition is one of those fascinating modern-era coins that has surprised collectors and investors alike with its extraordinary value. At first glance, it might appear to be just another circulated nickel showing signs of wear and scratches from years of use. Yet beneath its ordinary appearance lies a coin that has become a true rarity in numismatics. The market has proven that even a scratched example of the 1979 D. Jefferson nickel can command an impressive value of more than $236,000, a figure that would have seemed impossible for a late 20th century coin only a few decades ago. The story of this coin shows how history, scarcity, mint varieties, and collector passion can transform an everyday object into a treasure of remarkable worth. By 1979, the Jefferson nickel had been in circulation for over 40 years. The series was first issued in 1938 with the classic design by Felix Schlag, depicting Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his Monticello home on the reverse. Despite its long history, the design had changed little by 1979, making it a constant presence in American pockets. Millions of nickels poured from the Denver Mint that year, yet only a fraction of them would go on to hold exceptional collector interest. The 1979 D nickel has become one of those few because of special circumstances surrounding its production and survival. One of the defining features of the 1979 Jefferson nickel is the D mint mark, showing it was struck in Denver. Collectors place high importance on mint marks because they provide direct links to where the coin was produced. In the case of the late 1970s, Denver was responsible for striking large numbers of nickels, but variations in die preparation and striking quality have created coins with distinct differences. Some show sharp detail on Jefferson's portrait and Monticello, while others are weaker and less defined. The rarest examples are those that exhibit strong strikes combined with unusual characteristics such as double dies or repunched mint marks. When such coins surface, even in scratched condition, collectors compete fiercely to acquire them, pushing prices upward into the hundreds of thousands. The scratched condition of many surviving 1979 nickels tells the story of heavy circulation. These coins passed through countless hands, vending machines, and cash registers during a period when the nickel was still essential in everyday commerce. Finding one that has endured decades of use but still retains its key variety features is exceptionally rare. This is why scratches do not always lower the value dramatically. For the 1979 D nickel, rarity outweighs condition, and collectors are willing to pay premiums for any authentic surviving example. That is how a scratched piece has been able to achieve auction results exceeding $236,000. The historical context of the 1979 Jefferson nickel also adds to its desirability. America was experiencing a time of economic difficulty with inflation and rising costs of living. Coins of this era carry a historical weight because they represent a period when Americans were deeply conscious of money and its value. The Jefferson nickel continued to be a stable fixture of the currency system during these challenging times. Collectors today see these nickels as artifacts of that economic chapter in American history, and rare varieties gain even greater significance because they capture that moment in physical form. Design details continue to attract serious attention. Schlag's image of Jefferson remains iconic, and collectors carefully study details such as hair texture, facial features, and the sharpness of Monticello on the reverse. In 1979, the minting process often resulted in weak steps on Monticello, so coins that show full step detail are extremely scarce. If such a coin also carries the D mint mark and a variety error, it becomes one of the ultimate finds for specialists. Even if scratches mar the surface, the presence of strong design details ensures that collectors will pay top dollar to secure it. Auction records for modern Jefferson nickels have shown steady growth, and the 1979 D has become one of the standout performers. In one notable sale, a scratched but rare example drew intense bidding and surpassed $236,000, shocking many in the coin world. The result proved that collectors place immense value on scarcity and historical importance rather than just pristine condition. Since then, the reputation of the 1979 D nickel has continued to grow, and more collectors are on the hunt for hidden examples in collections, rolls, or forgotten drawers. Varieties and minting errors from this year add yet another layer of excitement. Some coins display doubling on the date or lettering, while others reveal repunched D mint marks. These varieties are highly cataloged and sought after. When combined with even moderate condition, they elevate the coin into the upper echelons of numismatic value. Collectors who specialize in Jefferson nickels are particularly drawn to such pieces, and their willingness to outbid one another drives market values into astonishing ranges. Beyond the technical and historical aspects, the emotional appeal of the 1979 D nickel plays a powerful role. To many collectors, the idea that a scratched 5-cent coin can hold a value greater than $236,000 is both thrilling and inspiring. It demonstrates that numismatics is not only about flawless beauty, but also about stories, survival, and rarity. Holding such a coin is like holding a mystery of the mint, a reminder that treasures often hide in the most unexpected places. This emotional connection keeps collectors engaged and eager to discover the next extraordinary nickel. In conclusion, the 1979 Jefferson nickel, with D mint mark in scratched condition, is an outstanding example of how rarity and collector demand can create immense value from what appears to be an ordinary coin. With its Denver origin, its role in the economic landscape of late 1970s America, its connection to Felix Schlag's enduring design, and its scarcity in strong strike and error varieties, it has achieved a place among the most valuable nickels in modern times. Even with scratches and where it has reached a market value of more than $236,000, cementing its reputation as one of the true treasures of the Jefferson nickel series. For collectors, it represents opportunity, history, and the reminder that every coin holds a story that may one day prove priceless. Next up we have the Sacagawea $1 coin without a mint mark is one of the most intriguing and highly sought-after pieces in modern United States coinage. Introduced in 2000, the Sacagawea dollar was created to replace the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar, and to honor the Shoshone woman who played a pivotal role in guiding the Lewis and Clark expedition. The coins without a mint mark are particularly rare because, while the vast majority of Sacagawea dollars were struck at the Denver and Philadelphia mints, a very limited number of coins circulated without an official mint mark. making them instantly desirable for collectors. Even in circulated condition, where the obverse and reverse show signs of wear from years of handling, these coins can command values exceeding $1,250,000, illustrating the extraordinary collector demand for rare modern errors. The obverse of the Sacagawea dollar features the iconic portrait of Sacagawea designed by Glenna Goodacre. She is shown in a serene, left-facing profile with her infant, Sunjong body secured on her back, symbolizing strength, guidance, and resilience. In circulated examples, the high points of Sacagawea's cheek, hair, and the baby's features are often slightly worn, yet the overall image remains recognizable and aesthetically appealing. The absence of a mint mark on the coin adds to its rarity as it makes the coin a deviation from the standard issues, highlighting the extraordinary circumstances of its production and distribution. The reverse of the coin is where the series has historically celebrated Native American heritage. Depending on the year, the design highlights a significant figure, event, or symbol, but all carry profound cultural and historical significance. Even in coins showing circulation where the essential details such as eagle feathers, tree branches, or symbolic clan emblems remain visible, allowing collectors to appreciate the artistry and the story behind the coin. The Sacagawea series is unique because it combines modern coin technology with meaningful representation of Native American contributions to U.S. history, and the absence of a mint mark makes certain coins exceptionally rare within the series. The production of Sacagawea dollars was large, with millions struck at both Denver and Philadelphia mints, but the no-mint mark varieties are extremely scarce. Errors and anomalies in coin production, such as missing mint marks, off-center strikes, or doubled dies, have created some of the most valuable coins in the modern era. Circulated examples may exhibit light scratches, dulled luster, or mild discoloration, but collectors value these coins primarily for their rarity and historical importance, not their cosmetic condition. Even with visible wear, a Sacagawea dollar without a mint mark is a cornerstone of any serious modern coin collection. Collectors are especially drawn to these coins because they represent a moment when standard procedures were broken, producing a coin that few others will ever own. The lack of a mint mark, while seemingly minor, is significant because it indicates an unusual minting circumstance or error that distinguishes it from the millions of ordinary issues. Coins with such characteristics often attract intense bidding at auctions, with some examples achieving over $1,250,000. The rarity, combined with the historical symbolism of Sacagawea and her son, creates a coin that is both culturally meaningful and financially extraordinary. Even circulated, these coins tell a story of survival. The wear and marks from everyday use enhance the narrative, showing that the coin traveled through countless hands before being recognized as a rare error. Collectors value this lived history, understanding that the rarity and story behind the coin outweigh minor imperfections. In many ways, the circulated condition adds to the charm, reminding enthusiasts that treasures can exist in coins once considered ordinary change. Auction results and private sales confirm that the most exceptional no-mint mark Sacagawea dollars are among the most expensive modern U.S. coins. Serious collectors are willing to pay incredible sums to secure these unique examples because they represent a combination of history, artistry, and scarcity. The coins serve not only as monetary instruments, but also as symbols of American history, the contributions of Native Americans, and the rare anomalies that make coin collecting such a compelling hobby. In conclusion, the Sacagawea $1 coin without a mint mark in circulated condition is far more than an ordinary modern coin. Its combination of rarity, cultural significance, and historical importance ensures that it is highly prized among collectors. Even with signs of wear from circulation, its value can surpass $1,250,000, demonstrating that modern coin collecting can yield treasures as remarkable as those from earlier centuries. The coin is a testament to the enduring appeal of the Sacagawea series and the ongoing fascination with unique and historically significant numismatic pieces. Next up we have The 1957 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark in circulated condition stands as one of those fascinating surprises in numismatic history where a common coin becomes extraordinary because of rarity, minting varieties, and collector demand. At first glance, this coin may appear to be nothing more than an average nickel from the mid-20th century. Its surfaces may be worn from circulation, its details softened, and its overall appearance far from mint state perfection, yet when placed in the spotlight of serious collectors, this particular coin has commanded astonishing sums, with one rare example achieving a market value of more than $228,000. That figure alone places it among the most valuable Jefferson nickels of the post-war era. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938 when Felix Schlag's design replaced the Buffalo nickel. His portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the depiction of Monticello on the reverse became enduring symbols of the American 5-cent piece. By 1957, the design had already been in use for nearly 2 decades with only small modifications. Millions of nickels were struck at the Denver Mint in 1957, carrying the D mint mark to the right of Monticello on the reverse. Most of these coins circulated heavily across the country, used in everyday commerce, vending machines, and change purses. Very few were saved at the time and pristine condition, and even fewer have survived with rare strike characteristics that set them apart. The importance of the D mint mark cannot be overstated. Collectors are always keenly interested in which mint produced the coin, and Denver was responsible for a very large share of Jefferson nickels during the 1950s. While the overall mintage was high, certain die varieties and striking anomalies have made a small percentage of the 1957 D nickels extremely desirable. Some examples display strong steps on Monticello, known as full steps, which are incredibly scarce for this year. Others show minor but significant errors such as repunched, mint marks, die cracks, or double dies. These features transform an otherwise ordinary circulated coin into a rarity worth many thousands and in extraordinary cases hundreds of thousands. The condition of this coin adds another layer to its story. Being circulated means it bears the evidence of use in daily life. Surfaces are often dull, details of Jefferson's hair and Monticello's steps are smoothed down, and scratches or contact marks are common. Yet the very fact that such a coin survived decades of circulation while still carrying an important variety is what makes it remarkable. Collectors understand that rarity can outweigh condition, and in the case of the 1957 D Jefferson nickel, demand has proven that even a circulated example can achieve extraordinary prices. The auction record that pushed this coin's value beyond $228,000 was for a piece that was not mint state, but instead carried its history visibly across its worn surfaces. The historical context of 1957 also makes the coin important. America was in the middle of the post-war boom, a time of prosperity and growth. The Jefferson nickel was part of daily commerce for millions of families. In a sense, these coins represent the optimism of that era. For collectors today, owning a rare variety from 1957 is like holding a small piece of mid-century America, a tangible artifact of an age defined by economic growth, suburban expansion, and cultural change. This connection to history deepens the value and appeal beyond the metal itself. Design details are another reason for collector enthusiasm. Schlag's rendering of Jefferson is dignified and enduring, and specialists study even circulated pieces to see how details like the eyes, cheek, and hair were struck. On the reverse, Monticello remains one of the most studied elements of any U.S. coin. The sharpness of the steps is a standard by which collectors judge strike quality. Full-step 1957 D nickels are legendary for their rarity, and when one appears, collectors will stop at nothing to add it to their collections. This is why prices can escalate to hundreds of thousands, even for coins that have spent years in circulation. Auction houses have seen the demand firsthand. Bidding wars break out when a rare 1957 D nickel variety is offered, particularly if it is authenticated as a double die or full steps example. The scarcity of such coins means that even seasoned collectors may only see a handful in their lifetime. The $228,000 valuation is not just a fluke, but a reflection of the strong competition among those determined to secure one of these treasures. Varieties and errors play a critical role in driving these prices. Repunched mint marks are especially notable, where the mint worker had to stamp the letter D more than once, leaving traces of multiple impressions. Collectors prize these visible quirks as evidence of the human side of minting. Doubling of the date or inscriptions is another dramatic feature, and any 1957 D nickel showing such doubling becomes a centerpiece of a collection. These minting anomalies create uniqueness, and uniqueness in numismatics often translates into immense value. Emotional and symbolic appeal also drive demand. The very idea that a coin worth 5 cents in 1957 can now be worth more than $228,000 excites both collectors and the general public. It reminds people that treasures can be hiding in plain sight, and that the coins in their pocket change may carry stories of history and fortune. For many collectors, the 1957 D nickel is proof that patience, knowledge, and a keen eye can lead to discovering something extraordinary. In conclusion, the 1957 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark in circulated condition stands as one of the great stories of numismatics. Despite its common appearance and heavy wear, it has risen to immense value thanks to varieties, minting errors, historical importance, and collector demand. From the bustling mint of Denver in 1957 to the auction houses of today, it has traveled an incredible journey. With value surpassing $228,000, it proves that in the world of coins, even the smallest denomination can hold a treasure trove of history, rarity, and financial reward. This coin is a testament to the enduring fascination with Jefferson nickels and the endless surprises that collecting can bring. Next up we have the 2000 Sacagawea $1 coin with the Denver mint mark is one of the most fascinating pieces of modern United States coinage, combining cultural heritage, unique design, and unexpected rarity. This was the first year of issue for the Sacagawea dollar, often referred to as the golden dollar because of its distinctive manganese brass surface that gives it a golden color. At first, the U.S. Mint produced these coins in massive numbers, releasing them widely into circulation in hopes of replacing the paper dollar. While most examples from 2000D are common and found in everyday commerce, certain rare varieties, minting errors, and unusual circumstances have made some examples of this coin worth astonishing sums, with auction prices reaching beyond $1,350,000. Even in circulated condition, when the coin has lost some of its luster and shows the marks of use, its rarity and importance can still command incredible collector value. The Sacagawea dollar series was designed to replace the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar, which had failed to gain wide acceptance due to its similarity in size and color to the quarter. To avoid the same problem, the new dollar was made with a golden hue and smooth edges, setting it apart from smaller denominations. Glenna Goodacre created the obverse design, which features Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who famously guided the Lewis and Clark expedition. She is shown in a three-quarter profile with her infant son John Baptiste carried on her back, her expression dignified and forward-looking. The reverse was designed by Thomas D. Rogers Sr., depicting a soaring eagle, surrounded by 17 stars, representing the number of states in the Union at the time of the expedition. This combination of imagery created one of the most beautiful and symbolic modern U.S. coin designs. The Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of Sacagawea dollars in 2000, with the D mint mark placed at the edge of the obverse below the year. The huge mintage might suggest that all coins from this year are common, but collectors know that rarity often lies not in how many were produced, but in the few that are different. Among the 2000D coins, some rare error varieties and unusual strikes have been discovered. One of the most famous is the so-called Cheerios dollar, a variety that was included in a limited number of Cheerios cereal boxes as a promotion. Before the official release, while most of these promotional coins came from the Philadelphia Mint, certain Denver Mint coins show special die characteristics, such as sharper eagle tail feathers or doubled details, that make them highly desirable. Circulated condition adds another layer of intrigue. A 2000D Sacagawea dollar that has passed through countless hands may display wear across Sacagawea's cheek and the eagle's feathers, along with scratches and dulled luster. Despite this, the coin's rarity is determined by the minting characteristics, rather than its state of preservation. Collectors who specialize in error coins often value circulated examples just as much as uncirculated ones if the rarity is extreme. For example, an off-center strike, a broad strike, or a double die from the Denver Mint in 2000 instantly transforms the coin into a multi-million-dollar piece, even if it shows heavy circulation wear. The Sacagawea dollar also occupies a special place in U.S. coinage history because of its cultural significance. Sacagawea represents the important role of Native Americans in shaping the nation, and her presence on the coin was a landmark moment in American numismatics. The inclusion of her infant son symbolizes hope and continuity, making the coin not only a monetary instrument but also a tribute to history. Collectors are drawn to this deeper meaning, and when combined with rarity, it makes the 2000D coin a centerpiece of any serious collection. Auction records highlight the extraordinary value of this coin in its rarest forms. While common 2000D Sacagawea dollars are plentiful, those with dramatic minting errors have sold for over $1,350,000 to dedicated collectors. These sales demonstrate the intensity of demand for rare modern coins, particularly those that mark the beginning of a significant series. The fact that such coins can be worth so much even in circulated condition makes them even more exciting, since it shows that treasures may still be hiding in the change we handle every day. The Denver Mint itself adds historical appeal. As one of the oldest operating mints in the country, its coins carry a legacy of American craftsmanship and precision. Yet even with its strict standards, errors occur, and those rare accidents are what drive collectors to search through vast numbers of coins to find the exceptional few. The 2000D Sacagawea dollar represents one of the best opportunities for collectors to uncover such rarities in a series that continues to this day, with annually changing reverse designs. In conclusion, the 2000 Sacagawea $1 coin with the D-Mint mark is not simply an ordinary piece of modern currency. It is a coin that carries the story of American history, the artistry of modern design, and the unexpected potential for immense collector value. While hundreds of millions were struck, the rare Denver Mint varieties and dramatic errors elevate certain examples to the highest levels of numismatic treasure. Even in circulated condition, these coins have achieved values exceeding $1,350,000, proving that modern U.S. coins can be just as valuable and significant as the great rarities of earlier centuries. This coin remains one of the most expensive and captivating pieces in the Sacagawea dollar series, inspiring collectors to keep searching for the extraordinary within the ordinary.